Gopal Prabhu. Krishna. Jaya Śrī Caitanya, Jaya Nityānanda, Jaya Dvaita Chara, Jaya Garbhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya, Jaya Nityānanda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Garbhakta Vrinda. Vande Guru Nisha Bhakta Nisha Avtaarakan Tat Prakasham Satat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam Granthira Arambha Kori Mangala Charana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinera Smarana Hoya Bhigana Vinashana Anayasa Safal Nija Vanchita Purana. Jai Jai Śrī Caitanya Jai Nityaānanda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityaānanda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Yar Asha Caitanya-caritāmṛta Kahe Krishna Dasa. Thank you, Gupta Prabhu, Partha Prabhu, for joining. We are reading Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Adi Lila, chapter 5, entitled The Glories of Lord Nityaānanda Balarāma. And we have covered till verse number 126 last time, talking about Lord Ananta, talking about Lord Balarāma, how he expands in multiple forms like umbrella, shoes, etc., etc., only for one reason, and that is to serve his master, Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. So we will read from 126. Right? Did we read 126 yesterday? I'm getting till 125. Anyways, it's a short verse. Let's read it. You want to read, bro? It's the verse and the translation. Ei sabha pramane jani Nityaānanda tattva sīma takhe ananta kahi ki tanrara mahima. Ei sabha pramane jani Nityaānanda tattva sīma tana hake ananta kahi ki tanra mahima. You can read the next one. I can read this. From translation by Abhicharana Arvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. From these conclusions, we can know the limit of the truth of the Lord Nityaānanda. But what glory is there in calling him Ananta? I think I now am recalling that we did read it yesterday. Basically, it's not easy to understand Lord's pastimes, Lord's devotees' pastimes, because there is no end to it. As we discussed from time immemorial, for thousands and thousands of mouths, Lord Ananta and Shesha has been talking about Hare Katha, but there is no end.
Atava bhaktira vakya mani satyakari sakala sambhave tante yate Avtaari. But I accept it as the truth because it has been said by devotees. Since he is the source of all incarnations, everything is possible in him. So this is Krishna Kaviraj saying, I accept.
Want to share any thoughts in this verse?
That Krishna Kaviraj Goswami, he accepts the truth that is said by devotees, because our only access to the truth is through the devotees. The same that a child access to his knowledge is through his mother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's basically called Shabd Praman. Shabd Praman is the best source of attaining knowledge, because I feel that if our source of attaining knowledge is, because we may not be able to comprehend these pastimes through our tiny intelligence, how can it be possible? How can millions of universe be on the head of Ananta Shesha? How is it materially possible that someone, as we were discussing yesterday, like if we ask someone, oh, I'm reading a book, and I really like it, and I've been reading it for last 1 week, every day, 5 hours. And the natural question would be, okay, then you must be 50% done, or 70% done, or maybe close to completion. But here, Ananta Shesha is saying, I've been singing with my unlimited mouths for unlimited time, the unlimited glories of Lord, and still there is no end. Now, how can we understand this? Is this beyond comprehension? But how is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami understanding it? Simply, I accept it as truth, not through my intelligence, but this is the words of the devotees. So that's the faith. That's the faith Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has. That's a faith we should develop, that whatever Vaishnavas say, whatever Guru, Sadhu, Shastra say, that's absolute. And that's it. Our faith, whether we understand it or don't understand it, whether it is fits in our brain or intelligence or does not fit in. So, any other thoughts anyone has in this connection?
Yeah, Narada Muni, he came to the cobbler and the Brahmana, right? The Pandit. And he asked them, he came and then the cobbler and Brahmana, they saw it's Narada Muni, so they said, the next time you see the Lord, please ask him, when will I get his darshan? So both of them asked the same question. And so then Narada Muni, he went to meet the Lord, and he asked that question to the Lord. Then he came back, and then he met the Pandit, and the Pandit asked him, Prabhu, did you meet the Lord? Did you ask him, when will I get to meet him? When will I get his darshan? So Narada Muni said, it will be many lifetimes for you.
Wow.
So the Pandit, the Brahmana, was disappointed. So then he went to the cobbler, and Narada Muni went to the cobbler, and the cobbler asked him the same question: when will I get to see my Lord? So Narada Muni said, you will get to see at the end of this life.
Wow.
So then the Lord Vishnu, he told Narada Muni that they will ask you another question. They will ask you, what am I doing here in Vaikuntha? So you can answer them that I'm threading an elephant through the head of a needle, right? So then he came to, when he was with the Brahmana then asked him, then, okay, you were in Vaikuntha, then tell me, what did the Lord do there? So Narada Muni said he was threading an elephant through the eye of the needle. So the Brahmana said, no, that's impossible. You must be a fake Narada Muni. So you go back where you belong. So then he went to the cobbler. The cobbler asked him the same question after he told him that he will see the Lord in this life. Then the cobbler asked, also, please tell me, what did my Lord do when you met him? So Narada Muni said he was threading an elephant through the eye of the needle. So then the cobbler said, oh, how wonderful my Lord is. He can do anything. So then the question is a question of faith, right? So the cobbler believed Narada Muni, and the Brahmana did not believe. But then also the cobbler shows greater intelligence. Why? Then Brahmana was, Narada Muni was intrigued, and he asked the cobbler, because he thought, maybe this cobbler he just says that blind faith. So he asked the cobbler, tell me, do you really believe this is possible? So the cobbler said, yes, my Lord can do anything. If from one seed, small seed, he can create a wonderful, large banyan tree, then how can he not, thread an elephant through the eye of a needle? Anything is possible. So it's he had also the intelligence within him.
It's a wonderful story about faith.
Yeah.
Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Kore Sudrida Nishchay Krishna Bhakti Koila Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. So faith has a very, very crucial role in our Krishna consciousness. So thank you, Prabhu. Let's read the next verse. If anyone would like to read, those who are on the call, please, you can read text 128.
Could I?
Yes, Mataji, please. Yes, please read.
Hare Kṛṣṇa. Avtaar Avtaari abhed je jane purvo je che Krishna ke keho kaha kori mane. Translation. They know that there is no difference between the incarnation and the source of all incarnation. Previously, Lord Krishna was regarded in the light of different principles by different people. Hare Kṛṣṇa, back to you.
Hare Kṛṣṇa. Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading this verse. So who are they here?
The devotees.
They are the devotees. Avtaar, Avtaari. So Avtaar is the incarnation. Avtaari is the source. Abheda, that means there is no bheda or no difference. Ye jane. Purva yaiche Krishna ke. There is no, so devotees know that there is no difference between the incarnation and the source of all incarnation. So in one way, Lord Ram, Krishna, Balarāma, Narasimha, Vishnu, Matsya, Kurma, Adi, etc. They are all the same, right? They're all the Vishnu Tattvas. But there is, again, we have discussed this multiple times, there is also a difference and as well. So it's transcendental difference. Okay, let's move. Let's move on to the next verse, and I think we'll elaborate about the previous one also a little more. Who wants to read this text? 129, please.
Hare Kṛṣṇa, Vipul.
Prabhu, guys.
Hare Kṛṣṇa Prabhuji, how are you? Dhamma Pranam, all goes to Śrīla Prabhupada. Nice to see you. So, text 129. Keho kahe Krishna Shakhat Nara Narayan, Keho kahe Krishna hoy Shakhat Bamon. Translation: some said that Krishna was directly Lord Nara Narayan, and some called him Lord Vamanadev incarnate. As previous verses said that Avtaar and Avtaari, and we know Lord Krishna and the Gauranga Mahaprabhu are the same and Avtaari, and all other expansion, Angsho, all are Avtaar. So it has Lord Narayan and Vamanadev also. They are Avtaar of Avtaari of Lord Krishna. Back to Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. And this goes back to the previous verse. Keho kahe Krishna hoya sakshat. Okay, that's we just read. Previously, people, Lord Krishna was regarded in light of different principles, right? So these different aspects are shared. Like some say, okay, Narayan is supreme. Some say, no, Vaman is supreme. Some say, okay, Narsingadev is supreme, etc., etc. Which is all in one way correct. But as devotees, we understand that Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Ete chamsa kala pumsam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Indrari vyakulam loke mridayanti yuge yuge. So whether the ete chamsa and kala refers to amshera amsha. So all these are coming ultimately from Krishna. That's it. So I think who is this devotee? Mary. You want to share how you want to read, or is this the first time you're joining? Where are you joining from? Want to share?
I'm in Canada, and I was actually hoping to join the CC class, but I'm having a feeling that this is the Bhagavatam. Is it?
This is
CC class.
Oh, it is. Oh, good. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
but it's on glorification of the incarnations, Nityaānanda and Balarāma incarnation.
Yes, so Balarāma Purnima is coming. So we're reading Adi Lila chapter 5, and we are at text number.
So the CC is mostly in Bengali.
Mostly, yes.
Some Sanskrit.
So Mary, Mataji, would you like to read this verse, or are you in a position to read?
I could read it, but I'm not seeing where what verse like. Is this Adi or Antya, or is it Madhya?
Yeah. Do you see the gadget you're using? It's on that gadget, like whatever iPhone, iPad you're using, or laptop. It'll be on your screen. I'm sharing my screen.
Yes, I see that, but I am not seeing where if it's like Adi or Antya or Madhya.
Okay, it's
like
Adi Lila.
I see the text number, but I'm not seeing the.
Yeah, so you can just read from the screen if that's okay. What I have highlighted, you can read that.
Maybe don't highlight.
I'm sorry, I don't know the meter, but Keho Kahe Krishna Kshiroda Kshai Avtaara Asambhava Nahe Satya Vachana Sabara.
Thank you. You can read the translation also.
Some called Lord Krishna, an incarnation of Lord Kshirodakshai. All these names are true. Nothing is impossible.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining and your association and reading this wonderful verse.
Thank you as well for this class.
So we know about the 3 Purusha avatars we have been discussing. Anyone remembers the verse which we learned or memorized? About the 3 Purusha avatars?
You can try Puji, but it definitely will miss something.
Sure, please try.
Trini Rupani Purushani Trini Rupani Purushani Trini Rupani Purushakhami Atho Vishnu Atho Vidhu Purushakhami Atho Vishnu Prathamat
Srishti
Atha Srishti Nityaṁ Sthitam
Anda Samsthitam
Anda Samsthitam Nityaṁ Jindo Bish
Sarva Bhutastam.
It's okay. Sorry, Prabhuji. It's too bad. Not revising.
Okay, let's for those who missed, this is a memory verse which we did. Vishnustu trini rupani purushasyakyani atho viduhu ekam tu mahata sastri dvityam tu anda samsthitam tritiyam sarva bhutastham tani gyatva vimuchyate. This is in this chapter only, text 77, 5.77. Vishnustu trini rupani. Lord Vishnu expands in 3 forms. Purushasya, the 3 Purusha avatars, atho vidhu. Ekam, the first one is the Mahatattva, the full, this is the creator. Then the next is the in the Anda or universe, Samsthitam, referring to Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And Tritiyam, the third one, is the Shirodakshaya Vishnu. Shirodakshaya Vishnu, Sarva Bhutastam. Bhuta here refers to entities, not the ghosts. Tani Gyatva, the one who knows all these 3, gets free from the cycle of birth and death, gets liberated. So back to our verse. Keho kahe Krishna Shirodakshaya Avtaar. So here Shirodakshaya is referring to the 3rd Purusha avatar, Shirodakshaya Vishnu, who is the Sarva Bhutastham. Asambhava nahi. What is impossible? It's not impossible, right? So Satya Vachanas Sabara. So it is simultaneously true, because actually we have learned that the source of all the avatars which we come in this world actually come from Shirodakshaya Vishnu. We have discussed that. So that does not mean that he is the source of Krishna, because actually this, for example, if the train comes from tunnel, that doesn't mean the train is manufactured in tunnel. Prabhupada gives this analogy. But a child may sometimes misconclude that, oh, the train, the source of the train is a tunnel. So often people say, oh, the source of Krishna is Vishnu, which is actually just a very tiny picture. But where did that tunnel, who the tunnel creator, where did the train originally was created? So the child, a less intelligent person, may not know that. To add some thoughts, Prabhu, to this verse.
No, let's continue.
Okay, let's continue. 131. Anyone wants to read this text?
Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhuji. Pranam, I can read.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Kṛṣṇa devotees, Dandat Pranam, all close to Sri. Krishne be Avtaare sarvam sa asraya sarvam sa asita be Krishne te milaya Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna appears, He is the shelter of all planetary parts. Thus, at the time, all His planetary portions join in Him. Hare Krishna Prabhu. So as we know, Supreme Personality of Krishna, He is the cause of all causes, and He is the shelter of all the planetary portions, all the planets, planetary systems. So, as the time of His planetary portions will join. Please explain. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhu, Sudhir Prabhu. Sudhir Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Nice to meet you,
Prabhuji. What is interesting that Srila Prabhupada, he translated the Sarva Amsha, all plenary portions, right? And the word plenary, you mentioned planets, right? But also plane, not plane that in the sky, but a plenary meaning a universe, right? So unlimited. Yeah. So entire. So there's for each avatar there's a Vaikuntha. There's an entire universe. So it is an interesting translation and understanding. So there's also a partial incarnation, and there's the complete incarnation, or complete. He comes in himself complete. For example, Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, Śrī Krishna Caitanya he himself is Krishna. So there is no difference. But some other incarnations are, they are partial. Like Lord Shiva is a partial.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sarva Amsha Ashraya. Sarva Amsha Ashraya. And actually this comes in, even though some of us may have watched this Little Krishna, whenever the time to kill a demon comes, right? Have you noted that? Then suddenly the Vishnu form present in the Krishna is actually the one who is fighting. Krishna, as the supreme enjoyer, does not, indulge in all these fighting and all. The other incarnations, who is the source of all incarnations, Krishna. So the other parts take care. Like Krishna is the maintainer, the generator, protector, maintainer of everything. But it's not that he is like, if someone, we say, oh, he is maintaining the whole company. Oh, he is making sure the company runs smoothly. Then suddenly what comes? A lot of pressure. Oh, he must be going through a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of deadline, a lot of project, this, that. But that's not for Krishna. He's just busy playing flute. Neither of his other incarnations also, even like Lord Mahavishnu is just breathing, just by his breath, unlimited universes, countless universes are just coming out. So that just talks about the glories of the Supreme Lord. Okay, so
by the way, you mentioned the demons, right? And Krishna Lila, Krishna is Akila Rasa Raj, right? So he actually enjoy the rasa, but which rasa? Madhurya rasa. So when the demons come, he doesn't enjoy the fighting the demon. He enjoys that his mother is worried for him. because that's prema. He enjoys that the gopis are worried for him. That's prema. So this is the internal reason that the demons come. So when Trinavarti demon comes, like Prabhu mentioned, the killing of the demon is happening on the Vishnu Tattva. But the worry is that Mother Yashoda seeing Krishna disappeared in the tornado. That's what Krishna enjoyed the most. And also, he enjoys, as a child, he enjoys swirling. So that's another enjoyment. So he gets only pleasure. And the killing is happening in another plenary portion.
Wonderful. Okay, so let's move on to the next verse, 132. Anyone wants to read this text, please? Who has not got a chance yet to read? Prabhi, Prem Sankirtan Prabhu, want to read?
Sure, Hare Kṛṣṇa Prabhu. Hare Kṛṣṇa devotees, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Śrīla Prabhupada. যেই যেই রূপে জানে সেই তাহা কহে, সকলে সম্ভবে কৃষ্ণে কিছু মিথ্যা নহে। In whatever form one knows the Lord, one speaks of him in that way. In this there is no falsity, since everything is possible in Krishna. Purport by Śrīla Prabhupada, Jai Śrīla Prabhupada. In this connection, we may mention an incident that took place between two of our sannyasis while we were preaching the Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra in Hyderabad. One of them stated that Hare Rama refers to Sri Balarāma, and the other protested that Hare Rama means Lord Rama. Ultimately, the controversy came to me, and I gave the decision that if someone says that the Rama in Hare Rama is Lord Ramachandra, and someone else say that the Rama in Hare Rama is Sri Balarāma, both are correct, because there is no difference between Sri Balarāma and Lord Rama. Here in Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, we find that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has stated the same conclusion. যেই যেই রূপে কহে সেই তাহা কহে, সকল সম্ভবে কৃষ্ণে কিছু মিথ্যা নহে. If someone calls Lord Ramchandra by the vibration Hare Rama, understanding it to mean, O Lord Ramchandra, he is quite right. Similarly, if one says that Hare Rama means O Sri Balarāma, he is also right. Those who are aware of the Vishnu Tattva do not fight over all these details. In the bhāgavata-sevayā, Śrīla Rupa Goswami has explained Krishna's being both Kshirodakshai Vishnu and Narayana in the spiritual sky, and expanding in the quadruple forms known as Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. He has refuted the idea that Krishna is an incarnation of Narayana. Some devotees think that Narayana is the original personality of Godhead and that Krishna is an incarnation. Even Shankaracharya, in his commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, has accepted Narayana as the transcendental personality of Godhead who appeared as Krishna, the son of Devaki and Vasudev. Therefore, this matter may be difficult to understand, but the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, headed by Rupa Goswami, has established the principle of the Bhagavad Gita that everything emanates from Krishna, who says in the Bhagavad Gita, Aham Sarvasya Prabhava, I am the original source of everything. Everything includes Narayana Therefore, Rupa Goswami in the Laghu Bhāgavata-ṁrita has established that Krishna, not Narayana, is the original personality of Godhead. In this connection, he has quoted a verse from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam that states, Bhagavatam 3.2.15, Shashanta rupesha itare sharupe abhaya diya manesha onukampita kampitatma parabaresha mahad amsha jukta hiyaja api jata bhagavan jathagni. When pure devotees of the Lord, like Vasudev, are greatly disturbed by dangerous demons like Kangsha, Lord Krishna joins with all his pastimes expansion, such as Lord of Vaikuntha, and although unborn, becomes manifest, just as fire becomes manifest by the friction of Aroni wood. Aroni wood is used to ignite a sacrificial fire without matches or any other flame. Just as fire appears from Aroni wood, the Supreme Lord appears when there is friction between devotees and non-devotees. When Krishna appears, he appears in full, including within himself all his expansions, such as Narayana, Vasudeva, Shankarshan, Aniruddha, and Pradyumna. Krishna is always integrated with his others incarnation like Nishingadeva, Varaha, Vamana, Naranarayan, Hayagriva, and Ajita. In Vrindavan, Lord Krishna sometimes exhibits the functions of such incarnations. Prabhu, should I stop here? It looks like it's a big purport. Or should I finish it?
Yeah, I think last two paragraphs, maybe you can complete it.
Sure. In the Brahmanda Purana, it is said, the same personality of Godhead who is known in Vaikuntha as the four-handed Narayan, the friend of all living entities, and in the milk ocean as the Lord of Shatadip, and who is the best of all Purushas, appeared as the son of Nanda. In a fire, there are many sparkles of different dimensions. Some of them are very big and some are small. The small sparks are compared to the living entities, and the large sparks are compared to the Vishnu expansions of Lord Krishna. All the incarnations emanate from Krishna, and after the end of their pastimes, they again merge with Krishna. Therefore, in the various Puranas, Krishna is described sometimes as Narayan, sometimes as Kshirodakshai Vishnu, sometimes as Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and sometimes as Vaikuntanath, the Lord of Vaikuntha. Because Krishna is always full, Mula Shankarshana is in Krishna. And since all incarnations are manifested from Mula Shankarshana, it should be understood that he can manifest different incarnations by his supreme will, even in the presence of Krishna. Great sages have therefore glorified the Lord by different names. Thus, when the original person, the source of all incarnations, is sometimes described as an incarnation, there is no discrepancy. Hare Krishna. So in this verse, Srila Prabhupada, first he explained that when someone like argues, like, Vishnu, Krishna came from Vishnu, or mainly the argument is about the Rama. Is it Balarāma or is it Lord Ram? But Srila Prabhupada is saying that both of them are same. And then Prabhupada was explaining that everything came from Krishna. As before Prabhu was Shubhavilash Prabhu, and I don't know other Prabhu's name, Hare Kṛṣṇa Prabhu. So you are saying that when Krishna comes in Vrindavan, there's the Brajendra Nandan Krishna. He's the original supreme personality of Godhead. And Prabhu was saying that he only does the sweet pastimes like Madhurya Ras. So there is a verse in Chaitanya Caritāmṛta, we will find out that Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, Vishnu dare koren Krishna osus sanghare. Shubhavilash Prabhu was saying that in that small film where they depicted so nicely, when the demons are being killed by Krishna, he was coming with all this paraphernalia of like Kshatriya paraphernalia, no flute or anything. But when he's in Vrindavan, as Prabhu was so nicely mentioning that the rashas, like Krishna is enjoying the rashas of Mother Jashoda's her lamentation part, that how she is lamenting, a devotee, how the devotee lamenting for Krishna, losing Krishna. And on the other way, the Vishnu Avtaar, they were enjoying killing Trinavrata. So how beautiful it is that how Krishna is enjoying. So Prabhupada is all in last 4 paragraphs, he was mentioning that part, that for anything can possible for Krishna. We know that all the incarnations, we know that Krishna's first expansion in Vrindavan, which Balarāma. And then from Balarāma in Dwaraka, there are first quadruple expansions like Vasudeva, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. And we know that Krishna never left Vrindavan actually. When Srila Rupa Goswami was writing 2 drama under the direction of Mahaprabhu, Lalit Madhav and Vidagdha Madhav. So Mahaprabhu told Srila Rupa Goswami, it's written in, we will find out when we go to Madhya Lila, that Krishna ke bahirna koriyo Vrindavana hoite. So, which means in Bengali it said, Krishna ke bahirna koriyo Vrindavana hoite. Never let Krishna go from Vrindavan, because he was saying that Krishna never goes from Vrindavan. He is in Vrindavan. So, some Srila Jiva Goswami later on, because we saw that Krishna, we saw that in Bhāgavatam it's written that Akrur came and took Krishna to Vrindavan. So Srila Rupa Goswami in Lalit Madhav and Vidagdha Madhav at the end, there's a nice drama there. At the end, he is saying, suddenly he woke up and he's saying that I had a dream that I came out of Vrindavan and I was doing some pastime in Dwaraka. So he was saying that. So Srila Jiva Goswami said that Krishna never came out of the Vrindavan. The person who came, that is Vasudeva Krishna, son of Vasudeva. He came out of Vrindavan. So Srila Prabhupada here is mentioning that all the incarnations came from Mula Sankarshan. If you remember, we read that from Balarāma, the 4 quadruple, then from that Sankarshan comes the unlimited number of Narayan. And Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the introduction of this chapter that one of the Vaikuntha planet where that Narayan again divides into 2nd quadruple. And that quadruple again Vasudeva, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. That Shankarshan called Mula Sankarshan. And from that Mula Sankarshan comes Karnadakshay Vishnu, then Garbhadakshay Vishnu, and Kshiradakshay Vishnu. As Shubhavilash Prabhu was saying, that from all the incarnations, we see that Lord Varahadev, Lord Vamandev, Lord Nrsimhadev, all of them, they actually come from Kshiradakshay Vishnu. And so Prabhupada is saying that, and Kshiradakshay Vishnu in this Brahma's universe, he also has a Shatodip. He stays there. And so, I mean, Prabhupada is actually, this is such a nice verse, and Prabhupada explains so nicely that that it is anything can be possible. that, but ultimately Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And when saying that, if you look at Srila Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, where he mentioned the qualities of the Lord Vishnu, qualities of Brahma, qualities of Shiva, and qualities of the living entities. So he mentioned that 64 qualities. Out of that, 60 qualities, all the Vishnu avatars, they have that qualities. And Brahma has 50. Lord Shiva has less than 60. Between Brahma and Shiva, I don't remember how many. And so here, Brahma has 50. Brahma is a Jiva Tattva. So a living entity can reach until up to Brahma level. Because Brahma is a post. It is not the name of, so we can live up, a living entity can, by their doing their different pious activities, sadhana, they can go up to like Brahma, 50 qualities. But Krishna has 4 special qualities, which none of the Vishnu avatars, including Lord Balarāma. Like one is, he has a prema madhurya, means he is loving. Lila madhurya. None of the avatar did that kind of pastime, which Krishna, even Lord Ramchandra also, he couldn't do that. And then Rupa madhurya. That Krishna's, even Lord Ramchandra's Rupa also so beautiful that we know that Dandakaranyar's rishis, they wanted to get married with him. And so, but Krishna's Rupa actually surpasses. Same about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we see that in Mahaprabhu's pastime, just by his Rupa, he actually captured, like Prakashananda Saraswati. Prakashananda Saraswati, just by seeing Mahaprabhu's Rupa, their 60,000 disciples, they actually all become attracted to Mahaprabhu. So that is one of the pastimes. And Benu Madhurya, none of the incarnations has that flute. Krishna only plays the flute. So that's my understanding, Prabhu. Sorry, it took so much time. I apologize.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. You're always it's a nectar to hear from you. Anyone else has any other thoughts? It's 8:45, almost time to kind of. But any last few closing comments or thoughts or questions? I just want to kind of like touch upon one point here. In whatever form one knows the Lord, one speaks of him in that way. Is there a falsity? In this, there is no falsity. The point is, if someone, but we have to understand here, we are not talking about, oh, I think my dog is like my God. Oh, I think my mountain is my God. Oh, I think, you know, my wife is God, or I think my husband is God. This is not what we're talking about. We're talking about the plenary portions. So recently His Grace Chaitanya Prabhu was there, and we got a chance to hear from him. He took 3 days classes on chapter 10, which is entitled Vibhuti Yoga. And he shared excellent point, because in chapter 10, Krishna shares about Vibhuti. Bhuti here means existence. Vibhuti means special existence. Krishna is like amongst the mountains, I'm the Himalayas. Amongst the intelligent, I'm the intelligence. Among the strength, I'm the strong. I'm the taste of water. In so many ways, Krishna explains, I am this. Amongst the Pandavas, I'm Arjuna. That does not mean that, you know, like, okay, Prabhu said, okay, amongst the Pandavas, I'm Arjuna. Arjuna is hearing that, okay, you are Arjuna, I'm Arjuna, both are Arjuna, then what's the big deal, right? Gita, there's no point of Gita, right? You and me are same, right? So you were saying you're Arjuna, and I'm Arjuna here, right in front of you. So what's the big deal? So the point is that to appreciate, of course, here we're talking about the plenary portions. So if someone says Lord Vishnu is supreme, okay. If someone says, okay, Matsya Avtaar is great, I worship Matsya Avtaar, the great. But But if someone says, hey, I worship my fish in my aquarium is God, we don't accept that, right? So we're not, that's not, every fish is not Matsya Avtaar. Every boar is not, what's that Avtaar? Shukara Rupa.
Varaha.
Varaha. Yeah. So, and if I take one more minute here to some context. So it'll be hard to draw some pictures, but I will try to quickly name them. Everything is coming from Krishna, right? So imagine here three things. This is what were the three things Prabhu showed? One was gold, liquor, gold, nature. Okay. So it little bit discussion from about what we learned. So Prabhu had pictures, but it'll take time. Just imagine, are all these three things coming from Krishna? What do you think? Yes or no? Is Krishna the source of everything?
Yes.
Yes. So now, everything is coming from Krishna. Absolutely correct, right? So everything is coming. So Krishna is here, right? We can understand that. So everything is coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is also coming from Krishna. This is also coming from Krishna, right? And this is also coming from Krishna. But that does not mean, and anyone can guess like what these three things are trying to show here?
Gunas.
The gunas, yes. Nature is mode of goodness, gold is rajoguna, passion, and liquor is ignorance. So broadly, and then a combination of complex combinations. So everything can be classified into three. So everything is coming from Krishna, but that does not mean that everything will take us to Krishna based on where we are. For example, if we try to see the connection of the Supreme Lord through nature, oh, wow, nature is so great, such beautiful mountains, lakes, and, trees and stuff. How beautiful the Creator must be, Then it will, we have to see, is it helping me to think about Krishna? Is it helping me to get closer to Krishna? Then great. But if we talk about, okay, liquor, it may not necessarily help one. Although Prabhupada did say, like someone was like, like Samarasa, what is spiritual world? Prabhupada said it was the ocean of LSD. Because to him, LSD seemed happiness. So basically, spiritual world is ocean of happiness. But, a great soul like Prabhupada gives the medicine based on the patient. So if someone is totally deep in ignorance and drinks alcohol, thinking it's a taste of Krishna, thinking is a very important word Prabhu emphasized there, then that person eventually will give up liquor and eventually come to mode of goodness and go to Krishna. So I really like this point here, thought to share. So yes, everything has the hand of the Supreme Lord, but that does not mean that everything will take us to Krishna necessarily. So we have to be mindfully saying yes to the things which will take us there and no to things which will take us away. And that's what these first two limbs of Sharanagati. Anukulyasya sankalpa, pratikulyasya varjanam. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Okay, so we'll pause here, and thank you so much for your association. Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki jai, Śrī Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Mahāshaya ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai Śrīla Prabhupada.
Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Krishna.